Welcome to the Queer Quest podcast, your beacon of light and sprinkle of glitter in the queer community. I'm your host, Christiano Green, CEO and founder of Queer Quest and a transformation coach for queer individuals. And together, we're embarking on a journey of transformation. Each week, we bring you a new training topic, all connected with visionary queer leaders in healing and coaching. Diving deep into conversations that inspire growth, celebrate diversity, and empower you to live authentically. So wherever you are, settle in and let's get ready to unlock the vibrant potential within. This is where your quest begins. Hello, all you fabulous souls out there, and welcome to this week's episode of the Queer Quest podcast. Yes, it's the Queer Quest podcast. And for those of you who are listening to the very first time, you're probably going to look below and go, wait, this isn't the very first episode of the Queer Quest podcast. There's all these other episodes below. And that's because this podcast has been rebranded. Now, I've been hosting podcasts for the last couple of years, and the previous one that I hosted was called the Total Boss Podcast. So every episode below this one here, seasons 1 and 2, are going to be the Total Boss Podcast. And now I've rebranded it to the Queer Quest Podcast because I'm moving my business and this podcast in a whole new direction. So this week is going to be a discussion about what is Queer Quest, what's this Queer Quest podcast all about, and then also talking about, where we're moving forward with as well. So let's jump in and really discuss, what's shifted between the Total Boss podcast and the Queer Quest podcast. So I've been, like I said, doing the Total Boss podcast for the last, say, about 2.5 years, since pretty much the time I moved to Bali and I left my corporate job. I had more time on my hands, so I wanted to step in and start doing a podcast. Now, the Total Boss podcast was tenacity, originality, talent, authenticity, and being legendary. And it focused mainly on the gay community because for the first few years of my career as a coach, I was focused solely on helping gay men. I help hundreds of gay men all around the world, with their mindset, with, acceptance, with authenticity, with relationships and dating. I was a relationship and dating coach for a very long time as well. And just helping people to ultimately transform their lives and really go on a journey of self-love and happiness. Seeking joy, finding joy in life as well. And so the first 2 years, the first, 85, I think, or so episodes of the podcast were solely focused on mostly gay men. But as I've evolved in myself as a coach and I've evolved in myself as a business, I've focused now helping the entire queer community. So the queer community is every single person that falls under the LGBTQIA plus community. So anything that falls within the spectrum of gender and sexuality, which is the all-encompassing what kind of queer means specifically to me. So now I help everybody who's in the LGBTQIA plus community, like I said, because I've been on my own journey of that. I've helped so many people outside of just being gay come to terms with their gender as well. And it's something that's important to me as well. So I've moved into that realm as well, because I believe that, when we look singularly or, down a path, it can seem to be the easy path for us. But there is a wider community. There's a wider array of people out there that have, a desire to have a happy life, have a desire to have a better career, have a desire to find love, and a desire for acceptance within themselves and authenticity within themselves and really being who they are. And so there's a lot of similarities, although there are so many differences for sure, but this community has a lot more similarities than it does differences. So really, moving into the queer space was more about opening up myself as a coach to supporting so many people from very different walks of life as well. That's why I've moved into being more of a queer transformation coach and a shadow healer for that. So helping people, move away from their traumas, move away from their limiting beliefs, their limiting perceptions of who they are, or, society's limiting perceptions of who they should be as well. And that's what we talk about, overcoming the shadows and coming into the light, dealing with the stuff from our past that is causing us pain, is causing us negativity, and really just moving into a positive light, a positive place. And when we are able to do that, we can transform our lives. We can transform our relationships with ourselves, our relationships with our families and friends and colleagues, and even, relationship with a partner, finding love for the first time as who you truly are. Because oftentimes in the past, when we aren't truly fully ourselves, it's like we're coming out to ourselves first of all, but then we're letting other people in to see who we are. And that's the kind of journey that we go on when we talk about transformation, because when you go through that, and we go through that so many times in our life, especially as queer people, that it's important to help people who need help on that journey, because there are so many people who just necessarily don't have the resources, the tools, the skill sets, the understanding of what it might take for them as an individual to truly come forth and find happiness within, find self-love for themselves, and ultimately build their self-worth up and confidence so they can go out and truly get what they want as well. So that's kind of what I've been doing, where I've been evolving specifically in that journey. And so moving into the shift in this podcast, it's now the Queer Quest podcast, because it's going to be all encompassing for every person within the LGBTQIA plus community, the queer community. I, identify as queer myself, because I don't necessarily believe that, we can stick to one specific label. Of course, I am gay, but I'm also gender fluid. And so when I look at it like that, I think of myself as more of a queer person, because I like to say I'm part of this bigger community, even though I know that there are subsections that necessarily I am not an expert in. That's the reason why QueerQuest has been created, because what QueerQuest is actually going to be the world's first online training platform for coaches and healers to create online courses for people within our community. So we're going to get experts from the LGBTQA plus community. So we might have experts who are lesbian, experts who are gay, experts who are bisexual, transgender, gender non-conforming, non-binary, gender fluid, every single thing that's in that spectrum that you want to understand and learn about. We're going to get experts, and we're going to have them create courses on the platform so that you can come to this place and actually truly learn and evolve from actual experts in the area. So like I said, what we talk about going on a quest is like, I'm going to go on a quest just for the next 30 days. I'm going to learn from someone specifically in an area of my queer journey that I think is important to me. Now, that could be in the area of looking for love as a queer person. It could be, looking for love as a gay person, looking for love as a lesbian person, looking for love as a transgendered person as well, right? And so for us going down this path, that's why we're going to be getting experts to come and join the platform, so that you just come to one place and you have all these different quests that you can go on, so you can evolve, you can learn about yourself, you can understand about your world and also the world around you, and you get to grow, you get to heal, and ultimately you get to transform your life from all these different experts. And they'll all be put in this one space right now. I'm working behind the scenes on building the platform and connecting with all the experts that we have them build in one space, but it's going to be a continual journey. But that's kind of what ultimately QueerQuest is about. It's a one-stop shop for people within our community to come and really learn and evolve more about themselves, and really get to a place where they can actually build a community of people around them that are just like them. Because I know there are still so many of us out there in the queer community that feel isolated, that feel alone, that feel like you don't fit in, like you can't find your tribe. And I'm quite frankly sick of that. I want us to find a community that is uplifting and show the rest of this, world that we are a community that's based on love and acceptance. I know there are so many of us who do have that in our lives, but there's also a lot of us that don't. And there are so many of us that would like to have more of that. So that's why I'm building a community where it's going to come from that place. And like I said, you're going to be going on and these quests, and you'll be doing them at the same time as people from all around the world. So you get a chance to really build some true and honest and deep friendships with other people, like I said, who are just like you. And you get to learn and evolve and even grow and heal in so many ways that maybe you didn't even realize. Like I said, because being queer, it affects every area of your life. It affects your, like I said, your relationships with yourself, with your friends, your family, with finding love, with dating, it affects your career, how you see yourself within the different spaces that you go to, and whether you're accepted and whatnot, whether you want to start a business and how you feel about yourself and your self-worth, and you believe that you're confident enough to actually do it and go for your dreams. It affects, the places that you live. You could live in one place in the world and the next place in the world, and you have a very different experience as a queer person. So all of this stuff that we want to be able to put there together is going to just be for us to understand ourselves more, understand the rest of this community more, understand the struggles, but also the triumphs and the excitement and the beauty that is really, within us as people within this rainbow queer community. So that's really what QueerQuest is about. And so what's this podcast going to be about? It's going to be getting a lot of different experts or a lot of people who have interesting stories from the queer community. So anyone, like I said, on that spectrum of gender or sexuality who has an interesting story to share, or is an expert as a coach or a healer or someone else that's got a beautiful message to share, we're going to be bringing them on here. We're going to be doing, interviews and discussions and having some beautiful discussions around the topics that they're expert in, so we can bring those to you. So if you're someone who's in the queer community who wants to understand and learn things more, reach out and share with me, what are the topics that you want to be hearing about on this podcast? What would you like to understand more from about? Because of course, that's going to shape not only this podcast, but also help shape what's going to be put into the QueerQuest platform that we're going to be launching later this year. And also, if you're someone out there who is a healer or a coach, or you have an amazing gift out there and you're working towards helping and uplifting people in the queer community, and you think that you'd be great to come on this podcast or ultimately create a course that's going to go on the platform and become a partner with QueerQuest, also reach out to me, because I'd love to hear from you as well, because there are so many people out there who have so many amazing gifts. And I know that I have beautiful, amazing gifts to share, but I'm only one person and only have a limited amount of knowledge when we look at the vast array of humans and different experiences out there. That's why I know that I can't do this on my own. And that's why I'm partnering with so many beautiful people around there, because we are always going to be better when we band together and we have a similar vision, a similar mission, and we just maybe have different flavors of getting there. Some people like to swim, some people like to run, some people like to fly on a plane, some people like to, fly, whatever it is, all of those different areas, everyone has a different flavor, right? And we all know that this community has a wide array of flavors and colors that are more vast than those singular 7 colors that are on the rainbow flag. And of course, the rainbow flag is ever evolving. There are now, tens of colors, but what I'm really trying to get at is there is infinite amounts of colors that come through the spectrum of sexuality and gender, and the amount of beautiful topics that we're going to be able to have on this podcast and then ultimately have courses for that are going to be put onto QueerQuest is something that I'm personally excited on, because not only am I going to be able to help build this platform for so many millions of queer people around the world and have a place for you to come to, for you to go on your journey, I'm also going to be able to go on my journey, because at this time, I'm actually going to be connecting and learning from so many beautiful people around the world. So as much as this is a mission for me to support other people, it's also something that's empowering me, because I get to learn and evolve as we grow as well. So really, this is what QueerQuest is all about. This is what this podcast is all about. I'm going to be bringing out episodes every single week, Thursday, Friday, depending on where you are in the world. I'll be sharing them all on social media. They're going to be on every platform. So thinking of, Google podcasts, you've got Apple Podcasts, Spotify podcasts, you've got, iHeartRadio, you've got Amazon podcasts, everywhere that you can listen to podcasts. And also there's going to be the video uploaded onto YouTube as well, onto my YouTube channel as well. So you, depending on how you like to, listen to or watch your podcasts, they're going to be available to you everywhere. And so, like I said, if you can reach out to me with, what you're looking for from the podcast, some guests that you think would be great that I could connect with, some discussions that we can have, or again, if you're someone who is a queer expert, and, even if you're just an expert in queer history, I'd love to have you on here so we can talk more, we can network, we can connect, and ultimately we can move forward with the ultimate vision and passion and desire and mission of actually uplifting this entire queer community to a place of self-love, happiness, and joy. All right, guys, that's all for today. Like I said, you know how to reach out to me. I trust that this has been a great first episode. Next week, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk more about my own queer journey right from the beginning all the way up to now, because it has evolved quite a lot as well. So if you've got any questions as well about what I'm for that, share them with me and I'll make sure that I answer those for you as well. And then after that, like I said, we're going to start with bringing out some great episodes with some queer experts in this area. So like I said, there's going to be something for everyone. So stay tuned, guys. And always remember that you've got this and I've got you. Bye for now. Are you ready to embark on a transformative journey towards love and happiness? Introducing the 21-day Gay Man's Guide to Love and Happiness. This isn't just a course, it's a pathway to discovering your true self, overcoming challenges, and embracing happiness. Join hundreds of gay men who found joy and freedom. Learn from Christiano Green, a coach with 20 years experience and a journey like yours. For a limited time, get this life-changing course at 75% off with a 100% risk-free guarantee. There's nothing to lose, but so much to gain. Your new life is just a click away. Enroll in the 21-day Gay Man's Guide to Love and Happiness today. Visit theglobalpridecollective.com and start your journey towards a happier, more fulfilled you.